Pratiksha stood frozen outside the hospital, the bustling London streets suddenly fading into a blur. An unknown, unsettling feeling crept into her, a cold shiver trickling down her spine like icy water. Her hands clenched into white-knuckled fists. It felt like eyes, heavy, predatory eyes watching her from the shadows. She wrapped her arms around herself, forcing a shaky, shallow breath. No, no one knows me here. It's just in my head. She shook her head sharply, trying to rattle the discomfort clawing at her nerves. Today is special. I won't let a ghost ruin it. Her steps quickened as she reached her car, but the gnawing sensation followed her, lingering like a dark veil over the sun. The moment she reached home, however, the shadows retreated. In the front yard, her two angels were a riot of color and joy. Paka and Ruhan were chasing Cuddle, the tiny, fluffy Shih Tzu they had received for Easter. The puppy yelped in delight, his stubby legs churning as he tried to outrun the children's squeals. The sight grounded her. It reminded her why she breathed. Pratiksha knelt on the grass, letting the joy wash over her. "Mama, look! Cuddle can run super fast like Ruhan," Pakai squealed, her face flushed with excitement. Ruhan puffed his chest out with brotherly pride. "Of course, Pakai, I'm his trainer." They tumbled into a heap of limbs and fur, Cuddle frantically licking their faces. For a fleeting moment, the heaviness in Pratiksha's chest vanished. "All right, enough rolling in the dirt," Radhika's voice chimed from the porch. "You all need to get ready. It's a big day, remember." Today was their family get-together, a celebration of Pratiksha's success. Radhika had spent hours on the menu, ensuring everything was perfect for their guests. Uncle John, Aunt Mia, Anna, Aaron, and their landlords, Sophia and Thomas. By evening, the house was alive with the sound of the doorbell and warm greetings. "Where are my two munchkins?" Mia's voice boomed as she barged in, her arms wide. "I need my cuddle dose." Radhika laughed, hugging the energetic woman. "Hello, Aunt Mia. Your monsters are currently terrorizing Uncle Thomas in the backyard." "Oh God, not again," John sighed with a patient smile, following his wife. Anna rolled her eyes at Radhika. "She babbled about this visit the entire drive here," she mouthed silently. Soon the kitchen was a hive of activity. Sophia joined Radhika and Anna, prepping drinks and appetizers. "Where is the star of the evening?" Sophia asked. "Where is Pratiksha?" "Exactly. Where's that girl hiding?" Mia added, popping a snack into Pakai's mouth. "She said she had an errand and rushed out an hour ago," Radhika sighed, her hands pausing as she wiped them on a towel. The underlying tension in her voice didn't go unnoticed. Aaron and Anna exchanged a secret, mischievous look. They knew exactly where she was. A sudden, sharp honk broke the chatter. Pakai's ears perked up and she scrambled off John's lap. "Mommy tame, she bing choco, big bilesguo." The backyard door swung open, and Pratiksha stepped in, grinning from ear to ear, clutching a brown paper bag. John stood up immediately, his eyes brimming with fatherly pride. "Hey, my girl, congratulations. I'm so damn proud of you." Pratiksha's smile wobbled. Uncle John was her rock, the father figure she had lost. She threw her arms around him, clinging tight. "Thank you, Uncle. Dr. Smith couldn't make it, but having you here, it's more than enough." Her voice broke with a whisper of genuine gratitude. As the others showered her with praise, Pratiksha clapped her hands, her eyes dancing with a secret. "Guys, I want you all to meet some very important people in my life." Puzzled glances were exchanged. Pratiksha looked toward the door. "Guys, come out." The door creaked, and Ranawat Ranawat stepped inside, her arms open wide. "Where is my little cupcake?" Pakai's shriek of joy was deafening. "Bu. She launched herself at Ridhai, who knelt and swept her into a fierce, tearful hug. "I'm here, my love. I missed you so much." "You only missed Boo, not me," a teasing voice followed. Ruhan's eyes lit up like stars. "Sammy." He sprinted toward Samir, who caught him midair, spinning him around until the boys' laughter filled the room. Radhika stood frozen, her heart thudding against her ribs. Seeing Ridhai and Samir here in her home felt like a collision of two worlds. She pulled Pratiksha aside, her tone hushed and sharp. "Why didn't you tell me?" Pratiksha, you know Samir, and I still don't understand how you even know Ridhai Ranawat. She saved you once, that's all I know. And Samir, you know what he wants." Pratiksha squeezed Radhika's hand, her gaze steady. "Babhai, look at the kids. Look how happy they are. Samir loves you. Truly. Life doesn't always give second chances, Radhika. Don't let the past hold you prisoner." She left Radhika standing there, torn between her fear and the longing in her heart. A hand touched Radhika's shoulder, making her jump. Samir was inches away, his eyes dark with a mix of frustration and yearning. "How long will you keep running from me, dream?" he whispered. "Leave me, Samir. Stop this," she breathed, but her protest was weak. Samir smirked, his gaze dropping to her lips. "Stay within your limits, Samir," she warned, poking a finger at his chest. In a lightning-fast move, Samir caught her finger and kissed the tip. "My limits are wherever you are, dream." Radhika huffed, her cheeks flushing a deep pink as she hurried away, leaving Samir chuckling softly at her retreat. Later that night, the house had settled into a peaceful hum. Pratiksha sat on the balcony, the London night air crisp against her skin, a mug of coffee clutched in her hands. Now that Pakai was asleep, the loneliness she usually kept locked away began to seep out. "Enjoying solitude, or can I intrude?" Samir's voice came from the door. She smiled softly, gesturing to the seat beside her. "How are you, Pratiksha?" he asked, his voice dropping the playful edge. "I'm as good as I look, Sammy," she deflected. "No," he pressed, his eyes searching hers. "How are you?" Pratiksha sighed, her shoulders slumping. "Today," for a second, I felt like someone was watching me. I felt that old fear again, the kind that makes you want to disappear. Samir's jaw clenched, his muscles tightening. "Over my dead body will he come near you or Pakai? I'll kill him before he even breathes your air." "Sam's right, Perry. He won't get near you," Ridhai added, stepping onto the balcony and resting her head on Pratiksha's shoulder. "I swear on Pakai, that bastard will never touch you again." Guilt burned in Ridhai's chest. The blood of the Ranawats was her blood, too, and she loathed what her brother had done. Samir looked at them both, his mind flashing back to the blood-drenched road where they had found a broken, pregnant Pratiksha 3 years ago. That day was etched into his soul. Radhika stood in the shadows of the doorway, hearing every word. She trembled with unshed tears. When Samir turned and their eyes locked, the secrets between them felt like a physical weight. London. As the night deepened, Pratiksha watched Ridhai and Pakai sleeping. Her heart was heavy. Some scars didn't just fade, they throbbed when the wind changed. She closed her eyes, and suddenly she was back at St. Xavier's College. The first look, the first secret note hidden in a library book, the possessive, dark gaze of Vansh Ranawat, the man who had set her world on fire and then watched it burn. She remembered the silver chain with the butterfly, her mother's last gift. "I can only lose this if I lose myself," she had told him. And she had lost it all. Miles away in a darkened penthouse, Vansh Ranawat sat alone. In his hand, he gripped that very chain, blood-stained, tarnished, and haunting. His knuckles were white, the metal digging into his skin as the weight of his sins crushed him. Her words echoed in his ears, mocking his power. "I can only lose this if I lose myself." He clenched his jaw, a storm of obsession and self-loathing brewing in his eyes. If she was alive, he would hunt her to the ends of the earth. And if she was dead, then he would let her ghost drag him into hell. "Perry," he whispered, the name a jagged prayer on his tongue.